Hey guys, Andy here from Recording Ideas. Today I'm going to make a video where I show you how I would go about recording a live drum kit with two microphones. The two microphones we're going to use today are a Shure SM81 pencil condenser. We're going to use that above the drum kit, and that's going to get the overall drum kit. It's kind of going to be the main mic. The second mic's a little bit of a luxury. It's an AKG D112. We're going to put that inside the kick drum just so that we have that push that'll really make your drum sound stick out in the track. Both of these mics are super affordable. The D112 I believe is something like $150, and the Shure SM81 is $350 if you get it brand new. So just with these two mics, we're going to record live drums and get a great drum sound. Also, I'm going to be recording them into my Focusrite interface, which is a very affordable interface. You can pick up a 2-channel Focusrite interface for like $250, something very affordable. So you really have no excuses. Once you have these two mics, you'll be able to put together a full song. You'll be able to put together acoustic guitar, electric guitar, live drums into one track, and it will sound great. And I'll show you how. In this video, we're just going to cover live drums though. So it'll be very simple, and I'll show you how, once you record them, how you can make them sound extra good. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I've gone ahead and recorded this. Let's take a listen. Now this is just my overhead mic, the SM81. Let's hear the kick drum. Great. So that's just the two mics I'm using. My overhead mic, which is my SM81, and my kick drum mic, the AKG D112. Together they sound pretty sweet. I'm just going to go ahead and flip the phase on the overhead and hear the difference. Cool. I like that flipped a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and copy this plugin onto the kick drum and do some EQing to the kick drum. First thing I want to do is I want to cut out some of the ringing that I'm hearing. It's not incredibly noticeable, but a lot of kick drums have this. It's a little bit of an overtone ringing, and on my kick drum specifically, it tends to live in the 120 to 110 area. So I'm just going to make a real sharp cue and just pull it right on out of there. Now at this point, I'm just coloring the drum sound. My drum sound is there. It sounds great. But for the style that I like, I'm just going to make some minimal changes here on the EQ. And that's really all I'm going to need to do. And since we're only using two microphones, it's not going to take very long. I'll probably do a little bit of an adjustment to the mid-range, maybe not even on this kick, because it sounds pretty good. Maybe just cut out some of the lows after this, and then I might pull out some of the highs on the overhead mic. Cool. Now let's listen to that overhead mic on the EQ. Yeah, the high end's a little bit brittle, so I'll probably just use the high shelf, just kind of duck it a little bit and find a frequency that sounds nice. I tend to like a darker overhead sound, so with this microphone it has a nice bright sound, so I'm going to just kind of darken it up, pull the highs down just a little bit. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice. And then the only other thing I'll do with the EQ on this is probably cut out some of the lows that are unnecessary. And I can still hear a little bit of that ringing from that kick drum. It's the actual kick drum that's ringing, so I'll look for that same frequency that I used on the kick drum. There it is, just cut that out. Now notice I'm not boosting much or anything at all. Just cutting out things that don't need to be there. The blend sounds nice. The only other thing I can think to do is, and at this point I'm happy. This works. The next thing that I would do to perhaps change the mix would be to add on a compressor. So I'm going to use a Waves compressor that I have. I really like. It's called the SSL bus compressor. I'm sure a lot of you guys have used it before. It's awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull it on and kind of mess with it a little bit. Usually I'll zero it and then I'll exaggerate the threshold. So just kind of pull it all the way and then mess with the attack and release and find a nice relationship. And this heavily depends on the performance. There's no one setting that works all the time. Once I find a setting that I like, then I'll adjust the makeup gain and bypass the plugin a couple times and make sure it sits well. Love that. That sounds awesome. And then for those of you who aren't happy with the drum level and you want to make it a little louder, just throw a limiter on there. The L3 isn't the most awesome limiter in the entire world, but if you have it, it sounds great. So just pop it in right after the compressor and mess around with it. You know, see how far you can push it before it starts to lose the dynamic and before it gets too crunchy. Yeah, that sounds really nice. Thanks again for watching, and stay tuned and subscribe for more great videos coming from recordingideas.com.